As so often happens in introducing the new or changing the old, public acceptance depends peculiarly upon women's friendly attitude. When the history of our times is written, it must record as supremely significant the physical, psychic, and social changes women have undergone in these exciting decades.
You may know Sofia Vergara for her famous role as Gloria Delgado in the beloved American sitcom, Modern Family. If so, you may also be one of the more than 11 million people who watch this video.
I grew up in Barranquilla, Colombia, in a very traditional Catholic home. My father told me that if I ever did anything artistic, I was going to look like a hooker. I told him, with these huge boobs that I inherited from your mother, I already look like a hooker. I am Sofia Vergara, and I am an actor. That if I ever did anything artistic, I was going to look like a hooker.
Sexualization for women in the media and film industry has always been a part of their script for success. But that success doesn't include more leading roles like producers, the ones that manage all the money. The year on which this video was published, 2013, women only represented 16% of producers for that year, a figure which will remain almost flat for all the years to come. Until this guy happened, but we'll talk about him later. Hollywood is the powerhouse of American pop culture, and even in the rapidly changing media landscape of the 21st century, movies have remained an integral part of that culture. It doesn't matter where we watch those movies, what matters is that movies are still being made. And that those movies hugely influence everyone. James Bond isn't a spy without his Omega watches.
Does it do anything? It tells the time.
Or if Tom Cruise does a crazy stunt while wearing Ray-Ban, people will flock the stores to buy one. Film plays a huge role in shaping who people are and how cultures behave. Media is a very powerful agent of socialization and social change in society. They are responsible for presenting models, conferring status, suggesting appropriate behavior, and also encouraging stereotypes. Yet, even in the year 2021, women still are not correctly represented in film, making a huge impact on how people perceive women. In general, women have only been seen as sexual icons for the enjoyment of men. How the director frames the scene plays a huge role in objectifying women. It could be through highlights and close-ups, or zooming at body parts like breasts, hips, or legs. All this before even showing her face. Cameron Diaz plays Miss Halsey in Bad Teacher. Her character wants to get breast implants to catch the eye of a fellow teacher. So to raise money for her surgery, she works washing cars in a very provocative way, with very short shorts and a slow motion to set the mood. The whole plot of the movie is materialistic and sexist. Alice Eve plays Carol in Star Trek Into the Darkness, and in one scene she walks in her underwear. That action had nothing at all to do with the plot. It wasn't expected, and it didn't achieve anything. These portraits of women only serve to make the audience believe that the only way women can achieve anything is through their bodies. Jocelyn Murphy, a journalist from the University of Arkansas, said that women are significantly more sexually objectified than men in the media. The effects of this include younger women believing they must be these sexual objects to be in a film. Due to the fact that actresses are seen as role models to other women, the way actresses are portrayed in films impacts how women see themselves. This is a direct connection to the question, is that what the world thinks of women? The countless amounts of harassment, rape, and sexual abuse reported by women in media from men who felt entitled to these women is astronomical. Remember this guy? This is Harvey Weinstein.
Hi, Comic Central.
Do you have any advice for a young girl moving to Hollywood?
I'll get lively with us. Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party in the Four Seasons downtown.
Harvey Weinstein is an American film producer who in 2017 got in the eye of the storm after a widespread investigation exposed hundreds of sexual abuse allegations dating back to the 70s. The event helped propel the Me Too movement, with many brave actresses coming forward to speak out against their abusers. Ronan Farrow, an American journalist who helped expose the story, has this to say.
And then there's been this cascade of men since. And I think what people have described as the Weinstein effect is actually a much broader swath of a moment in our culture and our conversation around these issues where finally, one story after another piling on has let people understand that they can speak and that there's strength in numbers that they didn't know existed before.
Female directors tend to hire more women in key roles and depict women in a more positive light than men. This displays the limitations male directors place on actresses when it comes to portraying them in a positive light and having them participate as leading roles. It is possible that you have seen many movies directed by women without realizing it, like American Psycho,
Hey, Paul!
Lady Bird, or Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Vous êtes embarrassé, vous mordez vos lèvres. Vraiment. Quand vous êtes troublé, vous respirez par la bouche.
These movies depict women in a deeper way, showcasing all their true colors and depth of personalities, with their sorrows and laughs, a thinking mind, and not just a sexual body. Even in the moments where sex is shown, it is a result of love and not lust, or it is an event which helps the protagonist to grow. In a world controlled by the media, the actions done by men leaves women, teenage girls, and young children with this perception of expectations set by a man. They leave boys with the idea of sexualizing women and allow them to feel as if they have the right to do so. Due to this, the sexualization and objectification of women should be talked about more, as well as conversations should be had in order to prevent situations of sexual harassment from occurring. Thankfully, the spark for hope already started, and hope is a woman.